Yeah, like a credit card number. Go ahead, I'll turn around.
Like a credit card number.
Social security number.
Social, mother's maiden name, whatever you got for me, guys, I'd appreciate it. I'll take the pen back. There we go. And what do you got here? You got, now what is this?
Lucifer. That's a little nickname, and then You're in Maine is my Street Fighter character I use.
Awesome. So there's only one card in the world that looks like this, right?
Basically.
One card in the world that looks like this. Well, I'm going to show you how to cheat at gambling. There's a couple different gambling moves. You may have heard of these moves before. The first move is called dealing from the center of the deck. If we place your card here, Tucifer, about halfway down the deck, in order for me to deal that card to myself, I would have to first control that card. And if I do that, it looks just like that, a little snap, and one card jumps to the top of the deck. I know, I'm telling you, that's the Tucifer card. That's the card right there. Tucifer, there we go. That's crazy. Now that was dealing from the center of the deck. This is called dealing from the bottom of the deck. If I place it, not on the bottom, I'll place it right here actually so you can see it the whole time. Now if I dribble the cards on top of that card, you can still see it, right? But at some point, I'm going to have to do a little move here and sneak that card to the top of the deck. If I can get it to the top of the deck, then I can yeah, this
What the fuck? Can we pull out that card and see what
it's
it
right.
says?
Yeah. I'm so glad you asked. I'm going to share with you how I do the trick, okay? Watch very carefully. Now here's the deal. It's all about misdirection, okay?
Yes, correct.
Gamblers are experts. You feel misdirection? It's all about misdirection. Here's what happens. The card really does go into the middle of the deck. I'll do it face up this time so you can see it. It really does go into the middle of the deck. But what I do, once it's in the middle, I wait. Do you know what I wait for, sir?
You wait for people to look for the
Eye contact. Exactly. Eye contact. What I do is I look, and when all you guys are looking up at me, I know you're not looking at the deck, and as soon as that happens, I very quickly sneak it to the top of the deck.
Oh
So
my god!
I know. So as long as you keep your head down and look at the top of the deck, you cannot be fooled.
I thought I was staring. I was staring the whole time.
Here we go. You're not going to be fooled this time. You're not going to be. But I'll tell you what. I'm a master at getting people to look up. I'm a master at getting people to look up. Here we go. Watch very carefully. Here we go. Where's the card now?
On the top.
It's on the top. Is there something in my teeth? You looked up. You see, you looked up for just, I know, but you looked up for a second.
Yeah, for a second.
Just for a second, you looked up. So what? I'll do it again. Here we go. Watch. Here we go. Just like that. Where's the card now?
On the top.
No, it's on the bottom now.
No, it's. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you.
No, you did a little.
I tell you what. You take the card. You put it face down on top of the deck. Where's the card now?
On top.
On top of the deck. Yes. You're with me. Here we go. Now, is there something in my teeth?
What? No.
Is there something in my teeth?
No.
He's not. I thought I could get in that time. Watch me. He's watching until I'm going to cut it to the middle and leave it sticking out about halfway. Where's the card now? I'll give you a cheat.
Sticking out halfway.
Sticking out halfway. I'm so glad you came here. I just cut it to the middle. That wasn't even a fact.
That wasn't even a fucking trick.
That was misdirection, man. That was the misdirection right there.
You're not fooling me.
Watch. Here we go. Do me a favor. I'll hold up your left thumb like you're hitchhiking. Hold up your left thumb.
No, that's a distraction.
No. Here, I'll show you the card. Hold.
Just no one.
Right there. Just like that. Watch very carefully. I'm going to turn it down. I'm going to leave it in here, and we're going to put it into the middle of the middle, just like that. Go ahead and push it in real slow. Just put with this hand here. Just push it in real slow. If I snap my fingers, it jumps. Oh, I missed it. Shit, I missed it. I can't believe I missed it. I never missed.
God damn it.
Dude, no, I'm not kidding. The minute I was watching, the minute you pushed it, it fucking came out of his fucking. I was like, oh.
The misdirection trick.
That's a misdirection.
That wasn't.
And he wanted me to look at his face.
You were trying to trick. Wait, can you do that whole thing again?
I'll do the whole thing again.
You fucking mouth. Right there, you fucking mouth.
Watch, here we go. I'll do it again. Watch. Tucifer, one card right here. I'm going to show you. I'm going to try to make at least. Your card's going to vanish. Watch very carefully. I don't do anything. All I do is this right here. That's. You see the box move a tiny bit. You take my time. Yes. To be fair, slowly turn over your card. Go ahead. Turn it over. Oh!
It's the box.
Oh my gosh. No, here's the deal. Here's what you didn't see though. So when you weren't looking, do you hear that? Do you hear that right there? Do me a favor. Hold your hands just like this. Watch. One card inside the box, fold it up.
Stop it.
Yeah. Yes, do me a favor. Open that card. Is that it? Is that the card?
Stop it. Stop it.
That is the card.
Stop it.
That's it, man.
Stop it.
What the fuck?
That's the name of that trick, by the way. I'm going to name it after you. Hi, guys, and welcome to Card to Card Box. I am really excited to share this with everyone here. This has been a pet routine of mine for a long time. And not only do I get to share with you my pet routine for Card to Card Box, I also get to share with you a couple of unique sleights. These sleights are kind of underground. I've lectured with them all over the world, but it seems like a lot of people have never heard of them before. And I think the reason is because they're published somewhere. And if you want to hide something, publish it. So I'm going to share with you not only my technique for getting a signed card into a card box to be on the table the entire time, I'm also going to share with you a really unique card force called the In-Jog Riffle Force. I'm also going to share with you my Mercury card fold. So if you've been wanting to fold a playing card and are unable to do it, this is the technique to use. So sit back, relax, and welcome to Card to Card Box. All right, here's what you're going to need to perform Card to Card Box. The first thing I always like to do, anytime I have a card signed or selected that's going to end up in an impossible location, whether it be a card box, a wallet, a shoe, in the center of an apple, if that card is signed, I always like to use a blank card. And I call this my blank card theory. My friend David Regal, he calls blank cards, he refers to this as an oddity, rather. Most laymen have never seen a blank card before. So whenever they pick a blank card, it's a shock to them. And you have them write something on there, they draw a picture, they put their name. I try to get the whole table to sign it if I can. As many different signatures on there as possible. The reason being, when this playing card ends up in the impossible location, they know beyond a shadow of a doubt it's not a duplicate, and this is the exact same card. Buy some blank cards. Anytime a card is signed, always use a blank card. Another reason why I like to use a blank card is because throughout the evening, anytime you're having a card ripped or torn or folded or wherever it ends up, the card is ruined. So if you don't use a blank card, you're going to be using a normal card out of the deck. And by the end of the evening, after 20 performances, your deck keeps getting smaller. It becomes the incredible vanishing deck trick, and that's not what you want. So by always adding a blank card to your deck, then you always have a full deck to work with at the end of the evening. The other thing you're going to need is the card box. But I'll just sort of show you how to make it. Man, I hate giving this away. It is just too darn cool. It's a card box with a giant gaping hole in it. Settle down. I know what you're thinking, but when you see the handling on this, I think you're going to be really, really pleased. So the exact dimensions of the hole, pretty easy to make. If you're going to create this on your own, all you have to do is make the hole the exact same size as whenever you open the card box, it appears to be closed. I'm going to get a little shot of that in case anybody needs to see it. Just like that. If it's larger, then they're going to see the hole. If it's too small, smaller is definitely preferable, but you want it as big as possible to make the load as easy as possible. So I'll go over the handling of the card box a bit because they will never see this coming. So that is what you're going to need. The setup and preparation is that your force card is on top, and then you have your card box here is just on the table, and you are ready to go. But if you want to create one of these on your own, if you want to keep one-on-one close-up case, one in your stand-up case or something, it's very easy to make this up on your own. All you're going to need is a card box, and the cool thing about the card box is you get one of these free every time you buy a deck of cards. It's kind of cool how they do that. You're also going to need an X-Acto knife. I usually leave the cards inside the box, and what I'll do is I'll put the advertising cards on this side, because when I use the X-Acto knife, I don't want to damage the rest of the deck. So leave the cards in the box, put the junk cards on the top, and all you're going to do is take an X-Acto knife, and well, first of all, you have to know how far to do it. So what I do is I open the lid, and I kind of see about where it needs to go. Now, I've been cutting these for 15 years now, so I just kind of know how far down it needs to be cut. But if you've never done this before, just kind of get an idea of where it needs to be cut, like it looks right beneath the bottom part of the spade there. If you want to, take a pencil and lightly pencil in a line on there your first few times. Once you've done that, close the box back up, take your X-Acto knife and simply cut a line along the top, down the sides, down the bottom, and back up the top. just like that. And once you've got this hole in your box, you are ready to set. This box will last you quite a long time. Over time, these two edges right here, they may tend to, so I mean, here's the weak points right here. They kind of tend to wear a bit. So if you wanted to, you could take a little bit of clear tape and just put a little thin sliver there and a little thin sliver there, and that will sort of prolong the life of your gimmicked card box. And that's how to make your card-to-card box. All right. Let me share with you my technique for forcing a playing card. It's called the in-jog riffle force. Now, you certainly don't have to force a card for this routine to work. You can just do a normal signed card and have the signed card go to the box. Perfectly acceptable. But like I talked about earlier, I always like to use a blank face playing card. And the reason being is that I'll do this trick 20, 30, 40 times a night, and if I'm using cards from my regular deck, that means that my deck is getting smaller as the night goes along, and at the end of the night, I can't, I'm searching through the cards. Let me show you twisting the threes. All the aces have been used. So anyway, always force a blank card, and here's how I do it. The force card starts off right here on top of the deck. And all you're going to have to do is sort of in-jog this card about 10 to 12 cards down, maybe 5 cards, maybe a little bit more. It doesn't matter. It's just however far down you want it is fine. I try to do about 8 to 10 to 12 cards down. And my secret technique for doing it is I just lift up about, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards, and I'll do it the exposed right here. I'll do that. That's the in-jog right there. Now, it's not this big in actual performance. This is explanation purposes only. So the blank card is right here. And again, how do you get that in-jog? I'm going to sort of break character now, or I'm going to sort of go off camera here and pretend to have people here just so you get a feel for it. So I've got my force card on top. I'm engaging a group of people, and I'll just do this motion right here as I'm talking. And what I've done there is I've just basically got the force card in-jogged. It's something you do casually. You haven't started the trick yet. They don't know you're going to force a card on them. They don't know anything. So just very casually, I lift up, I slip it in. If anything, it should just look like a cut or something. But what you really have is you have the force card is now in-jogged, I'd say about 8 to 10 to 12 cards down. It doesn't really matter, so don't worry too much about that. So I'm going to leave it sticking out this much for the explanation, but in actual performance, it's much less. I'll show you both ways. So here's what's going to happen. Here's the theory, at least anyway. When you perform this, obviously if your audience is here, this is sort of the bad angle to do it. If my audience is here, though, they can't see the in-jog card. I'm now going to take my left thumb and just riffle down the side of the cards. And I usually don't say the word riffle. I say, as I move my thumb along the side of the cards, because most people don't know what riffle is, as I move my thumb along the side of the deck, please say stop. Now, wherever they stop me, you can be very, very fair about this. I say, are you sure? Right here. And what I'm going to do is this. I'll give you an exposed view. I pinch this upper inner corner right here. And what I'm going to do is this. Let me show what's happening from behind here. What's going to happen is that I'm pulling the cards forward just until that in-jog card is even with the bottom packet. Once that's even with the bottom packet, my little pinky then takes over. Hard to do slow. My little pinky then takes over. Now the pinky, it doesn't grab the card, no motion at all. All the pinky has to do is just touch the card. It's just from here to there, from here to there. That's all you're doing. Then you continue forward, you pull it out, and then you tap. Now let me show you what it looks like in sort of real time. It's from here to here. I get my in-jog, and it looks like this. As I riff in the cards, you just say stop. Or as I run my thumb along the cards, you just say stop. Right here, are you certain? Right here? Okay, go ahead and take the card. And what's really interesting about this force is that unlike a riffle force or a slip force has a lot of noise, or a riffle force, if for some reason, if you have a break halfway through and they wait till you get down to the very end, and now you have to do that thing right there. I like this because you're literally placing the force card exactly where it needs to be in the deck. So hypothetically, if you did have a volunteer, let me get it in-jogged here. If you did have a volunteer who is being on the difficult side, and as you're riffling, if they waited till you got down to literally the last bottom part of the deck and they said stop right here, it doesn't matter because you're still the same way. You grab at the corner, you pull forward, you pinch with the pinky, and you tap. And when you look at this, there's no discrepancy on the sizes of the packets whatsoever. There's no discrepancy. You thumb the card off, and then of course that is going to be the force card. And that is called the in-jog riffle force. All right, another technique I would like to share with you in this routine, actually this technique like the In-Jog Riffle Force can be used for any of your card routines, but is my version of the Mercury card fold. Now, I know a lot of guys out there have problems with the Mercury card fold. I hear it all the time. It's too noisy, it's hard to do, what's the misdirection for it? I'm going to share with you my version called the Sleeves Up Mercury card fold. Now there is only one sort of a stipulation, is that you have to be wearing sleeves to do this. But most of the time we're either performing in sleeves or you're wearing a jacket. So if you have that, then you can easily do the Sleeves Up Mercury card fold. Here's what it looks like. First of all, the forced card is on top of the deck. Say we're going, it's not the forced card, the card we're going to fold is on the top of the deck. So for example, if we want to fold the 9 of diamonds. So here's what the card fold looks like. First, I'll sort of just do it and you can see how it flows, and then I'll break it down. So the forced card is right on the top of the deck. As I'm talking to my crowd, all I'm going to do is just roll up my sleeves. And just in the act of rolling up my sleeves, you didn't hear a thing. Underneath the deck is the card folded in a nice tight little package here. So that's what it looks like, and that's what it doesn't sound like. So let's break that down and show you the Sleeves Up Mercury card fold. Now, what I like about this is that it has built-in misdirection, meaning that oh wow, 9 of diamonds. It has built-in misdirection, meaning that you don't have to do it fast, you don't have to do it slow, but the actual move itself is the misdirection. Because when you're folding a card, and it's down on the bottom here, say we're going to fold this card again, you're basically, you are doing the move under the guise of being completely fair. So I say this, I say, I tell you, and then make this even more fair, I'm going to roll up my sleeves. Nothing I can do. So you just did the move while showing how fair you are. So very sneaky psychology going on there. So let's break down the actions and get you guys to where you are Mercury card folding. So I've just got some junk cards here to the side. Oh my gosh, what a coincidence. This is crazy. This is not supposed to happen. These are just junk cards. I don't know why it keeps happening. So we're going to fold the Queen of Clubs. I'm just going to pretend that's a card I'm going to fold. So let's break it down. The first stage of the Mercury card fold, it's just like the original. Your thumb is sort of in deep back grip on the deck here. Deep back grip is right down there in the center of that playing card. Your first finger of the other hand is basically resting up here at the top, just like that. Now the first part of the Mercury card fold is that you're going to press down right here. Now anybody can do this quietly and slowly, and there's no sound. There's no sound at all. You hear that? No, of course you don't. There's no sound right there. Where the sound comes from is the second part of the card fold. If you're doing a traditional card fold, this part's easy to do quietly, but listen, here's where the sound comes from. Listen. It comes from the second fold. And because you're folding the card under the deck, you don't always get, sometimes you get a really lousy fold. I can't do that fold. So let's do it again, please. It's not the same. I swear this is not a trick. This is a separate Penguin download, by the way. I don't know. That is freaky. So here we go. So we're going to fold the 9 of spades now. This is our new folding card. It's done in 2 phases. The first part you already know if you do a card fold. It's just this first part here. And what you're going to do is you're going to basically fold it from here. It goes all the way back to the back. And then what happens now is that you are going to literally push this card as hard as you possibly can around your thumb, and you are going to give that, it's almost going to be completely folded at this point, okay? So if I were to remove my thumb, that's the situation I have right there under the deck. Look at that. If I just squeeze it, it's a perfect fold now, okay? But I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to put my thumb back in here. Now I'm right here. Now we're going to roll up our sleeves. And under the guise of rolling up our sleeves, that's when we're going to do the second half of the fold. So the second half of the fold, which is usually really noisy and you get a lousy fold, it's not going to make any noise because we're not doing it against the bottom of the deck. We're doing it up where our sleeves are. So again, I'm right here. Now what happens is I remove my thumb from the card here. And as I do it, I'm slowly closing my hand around that, and I'm getting a really tight fold here. As this is happening, I'm basically, all attention now is focused here on my sleeve. I'm rolling, I roll up my sleeve, I'm pinching the card like really hard. I'm rolling here. Once I'm here, I take the deck, I place it on top of the folded card. I squeeze again as I look at this sleeve and roll up. And I end in this position here with my hands very free. There's no way I can possibly cheat you kind of move here. And in reality, under the guise of being fair, I've got that card perfectly folded underneath the deck. Now that you see it, if this happens again, I swear I'm quitting. Okay, crazy. Let me do it one more time with just another gimmick, with just another random card. I'm going to fold the ace of spades. So now that you know how it works, I'll do it really slow and then I'll do it fast. So really slowly, it would look like this. Watch. Fair. That's it, and the card is folded in the bottom of the deck. One more time. Okay. Another random card. This time I'll do it fast. So the cool thing is you can perform this move slow. You can also perform it quite quickly as well. So let's do it as fast as I possibly can without just looking too weird. So I'm right here, and if I want to go like this, fair. And that motion right there, the card is folded underneath the deck, ready to be loaded wherever you want to load it. In just a second, I'm going to show you how to load this card into the card box. All right, so now that you know about the blank card, you know how to do the in-jog River Force, the Mercury card fold, you've already got your gimmick card box, let's get into the routine that I use with this most often. Now, you don't have to use this routine at all, but I wanted to share it with you since this sort of is my corporate walk-around routine for ambitious cards. So if you don't have an ambitious card, this is a pretty fun one to do. It's relatively easy, and everything sort of makes sense in the context of this card changing and stuff. I kind of have a gambling theme to my ambitious card routine. So your force card is on top of the deck. It's the blank card. You've just done your in-jog riffle force where you're going to force that card on somebody. Boom. Have them sign the card. I've already signed this one here with just some random initials on there. So that's right there. Now, while they're signing this card, what I do is I sort of will turn around and say, go ahead and sign your name on there, put your initials on there, draw me a picture. While they're doing that, I just turn around. And while my back is towards them and while they're turned around, I'm simply just basically taking the top two cards and just turning them over. That's all I'm doing. And so I do this all here, and when I say, tell me when you're done, I turn around, I take the pen back, I put the pen back in my pocket, I take the signed card, it goes back on top of the deck, and now basically I'm set up for a triple lift. So the first phase or two is just a regular ambitious card handling, but you are two cards ahead, so that's kind of nice. So I show the initials on the card, I turn the card over, the indifferent card is placed into the center of the deck, it is squared up. You do whatever, snap your fingers. If you look at the performance, I talk about gambling moves. I say, have you ever heard of dealing from the center of the deck? And as I say that, I place the card in the center of the deck. And I say, well, if I want to get that card back to the top, in order to deal to myself, it has to be on the top. Then I sort of turn it over and show that the card's back on top of the deck. Now, the second phase is I talk about, now that we're dealing from the center of the deck, have you heard of dealing from the bottom of the deck? Now, if I'm standing in a group of people, I'll have somebody actually hold out their hand, which is super strong because it happens in their hand. But if I'm at a table or something, I'll say, watch, if I take your card and I put it on the bottom of the deck, there's no way I could deal that card to myself unless I could somehow control it to the top of the deck. And I show the card has just randomly come to the top of the deck. So that would be, I guess, phase two. Phase three, I talk about how do these gambling routines work? How does it work? And I say they work as misdirection. The gamblers are able to get you to look where they want you to look. And I say, watch very carefully. Again, signed card. I say, where's your card now? It's on top of the deck. And I say, yeah, it's on top of the deck, but let me show you how the trick works. See, the card really does start off in the middle of the deck. It always starts off in the middle of the deck. As I do that, I just place it in the center of the deck, and I get a break above it. Right there. And I say, but you know what I wait for? I'm sorry. It goes in the center of the deck, and once it's in the center of the deck, I wait. Do you know what I wait for? And I make eye contact with everybody. Usually the person right here, I'm right at their face. I'm like, do you know what I wait for? And they always look up at me. You know, if you talk to somebody at their face and they're right here and they're looking down, they're going to look up at you. And I say, do you know what I wait for? And as soon as they look up at you, I'm like, that, eye contact. Because I look for everybody's eyes. As soon as you're looking up here at my eyes, you're not looking at the deck. If you're not looking at the deck, that's when I can do this super fast move and get your card to the top of the deck. There, I just performed a pass. Not even a good pass, but it doesn't matter. This is a great way to practice the pass, by the way, is I just basically, this is kind of how I practice the pass, but it's right here, and I say I wait, and at this point here, I just do a riffle pass. That's all you have to do. Or if you want to, you can just give the deck a quick cut. It doesn't matter because you're not trying to explain how good your pass is. You're basically just saying, as I see everybody's eye contact, I just cut the card to the top of the deck. So you can do that, but the reason I do this phase is for the card to mouth phase in just a second. You need this phase in there, so don't leave it out. Again, a perfect way to sort of practice doing your pass, because sometimes that'll get a huge reaction just on its own. But now I've set them up for thinking about looking up at me, and that's how they're going to get fooled. So I say, and so after it comes to the top of the deck, I say, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to do it again. And now that you know that as soon as you look up, that's when I fool you. So if you don't look up, you're never fooled. So I show the card, and I say, where's the card now? It's on top. I turn it over. Where's the card now? Still on top. Now I'm going to do the old Browie addition move. I'm going to get a break beneath the bottom card of the deck. Okay? Break the bottom card of the deck. And now I'm going to swing cut the top half of the cards from my right hand into my left hand. Swing cut. Remember, there's the signed card. This card is added to this card here as you perform a wrist kill. So we're right here. I say watch. Now at this point here I say, is there something in my teeth? And if they look up, I'm like, no, I got you. Don't look up. If you look up, I will fool you. And I keep reinforcing, if they look up, they're going to get fooled, right? So now remember, you have the extra card in here. I push this card in here. It's right here. That's a different card. The actual signed card is right here, right? So now I say, do me a favor, hold up your right thumb, push that in with your right thumb. As soon as they push this in, I take this card, it goes right there in my mouth. This gets pushed in. I put these in here, and again, the person is right here, and I say, look, snap, and it jumps to the top of the, oh, I missed it. And now I immediately turn the cards over and start spreading through the cards like I can't find the card. Now, because I've trained them not to look up, I keep saying, if you look up, I'm going to fool you. If you look up, I'm going to fool you. The person that's usually right here, they won't look up. Everybody else is seeing the card in my mouth right now, so I get all this laughter before that I didn't used to get, because I would just do card in the mouth, and as soon as one person saw it, the whole thing it was ruined. But this person here has been trained not to look up now. So this laughter is really prolonged for a long time before I finally get down and I can kind of show them that it's right there. Now I turn the deck over. Again, remember I have one card that's just face up on top of the deck now from the previous double lip. I kind of hold it at a wrist kill at this point. I say I'm going to do it one last time. I'm going to make your card completely vanish. Watch. I show them the card one last time. It's a double. I say watch. I'm going to place your card right here under the card box, right there. Now, I do a silly joke. I'm like, watch, here's the move, here's the move. Have you heard of the secret move? Yes? And that's when you leave town without paying rent. Some gamblers have to do that. Watch. I riffle just like that, and they see the card box slightly moved a bit. I said, for the card that you signed, the card that you wrote your name on, turn that card over. As they're turning the card over, I just sort of take a step back. I do the sleeves up Mercury card fold. I'm like, I don't want to touch that card. Now again, I've got the signed card right here. So now they can turn over this card, and of course, it's not their signed card. It's not even close to their signed card. At this point, I can pick it back up. Now I'm going to load their signed card into the card box. So I'm going to remove the deck from my left hand so you can see exactly what I got going on here, but it's basically right here. I've got the card, it's folded underneath my hand, it's right here. But here's what the move looks like. Now remember, you have this ginormous hole in the back of the box, right? This is just right here, and I should say card box placement is sort of important. When I approach a group, I take the cards out of the box, and I just set the box off to my left at sort of a 45-degree angle. I don't want it over here like this or over here. I kind of want it here like this. So I'm going to load the card into the box and show the box all the way around. So what I do is I set this down the table, and here's the load. Here's what it looks like. And then I say, open up your hand, show this side, squeeze the box. They open their hand, and lo and behold, the one card that was inside the box is their signed card. So let me show you how that load works. It works like an Aikido box move. I'm going to do it sort of straight on to the camera so you can see it. but the card is, the folded card is right here. And what's going to happen is this. Again, I would never do it sort of straight on to somebody. Usually if my audience is sort of here, I would sort of do it off to the side. Now you have all the cover in the world because the back of your hand is covering here. Your thumb just merely has to basically press on this top corner, and it just sort of, it levers the box up. Almost like an Aikido box move, it levers the box up. But again, it's sort of here off to the side, and you have all the cover in the world with your hand right there. It levers it up, and let me see. Can you guys see this right here? It's just going from here. Hard to do slow, believe it or not. Levers it up. The folded card is inside the box now. I pick it up and I shake it. Now the cool thing is, once it's in there, I can now transfer it and hold it like this. And I guarantee you, if you perform this routine, the hardest part of this routine is not the force or the fold. The hardest part of this routine is trying not to laugh when you're looking at this side of the box, because you're about to kill them here. So you're going to show it like this. I say, do me a favor, cup your hands like this. Now here's the move. Here's the move. Whatever you do, don't turn it around like this. You're going to open the flap up as you turn it around. So hold your hand open like this. Watch as you open the box up, you spin it around as the flap closes. There's something really interesting about that. You kind of, it's almost like a weird retention of vision thing where like your mind thinks you see the whole card box. So you're right here, hold your hand like this, open it up. This is clean, this is now clean. And now what I like about this is that I have them hold their hand open. Now I can actually dump the actual signed card from inside the box that has been on the table the entire time. They can then take this, open it up, and it is in fact their signed card. The cool thing about this is when you're done, slap another blank card on top of the deck, put the deck back in the box goes back in your pocket, and you are once again ready to do that routine or any routine where you need to have a card going into a card box. This is one of my favorite things that I perform, and it's been mine for many, many years, and now it belongs to you. Hey guys, I just wanted to say thank you once again for purchasing my card to card box routine. I really hope that you got a lot out of it. There's a lot of really unique moves in there. The in-jog riffle force, I think you're going to use that all the time. The sleeves up Mercury card fold, I guarantee that's the easiest card fold that you're ever going to come across. And that little idea of that card going to the box with the hole and the turnaround, to me, that's what workers are made of right there. No extra pocket space necessary. It works every time. There's no gimmicks. I just want to thank you for purchasing it. And if you really like it, if you think this is of a workhorse of a routine, please go and leave a review on Penguin Magic. I would really appreciate it. And thanks once again for purchasing my card to card box.